Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope it was a lot better than what we saw up in Boston. But as always, man, that was rough. We're going to get into that here in a minute. But this is the Juice Box Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK. The Dubon Fan Club president, Chris, is with us. Sweet B Bones Bryles is with us. Fellas, how is your weekend? How was your weekend?
It started off really cool. I'll give you that much. I mean, we were given press passes at the Space Cowboys game on Friday, and I'm not gonna lie, kind of felt like a little kid in a candy shop. Just kind of like you could tell that Bryles and I stuck out like a sore thumb. That's all I'll say. Besides that, I mean, super excited. Pretty much what the title of this episode is. I mean, we were all hyped up to watch the Astros game on Friday. We watched it in the press box while we were making it look like we were doing stuff in the press box for the Space Cowboys. Unfortunately, it was not a very good weekend for Astros baseball. So besides that, Bryles, how was your weekend?
Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun on Friday. That was pretty cool. Even though we had no idea what we were doing and asking a bunch of questions, and you're right, stuck out like a sore thumb. That was still a whole lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting the opportunity to do that again, and I'm sure we'll get more into that later. But anyway, other than that, yeah, got to go to my mom's house and find my original 16-bit Nintendo. That was fun.
There you go.
And then. Other than that, yeah, Astros baseball was a little rough this weekend. We had our hopes built up, obviously, after the trade deadline, getting all those acquisitions, and then, we obviously couldn't even hardly scratch any runs across the plate for the whole weekend. So, anyway, I know that those guys are going to end up gelling here coming up soon, but yeah, I know we're going to be getting into the game. So, PK, how about your weekend, buddy? How are you?
Pretty good, man. It was I don't know, kind of uneventful. I mean, today we were at a beach volleyball tournament there at the Sportsplex, so it was baking in the heat, watching my youngest. But she took third, so it was a good day. Good day. But man, let's get into this thing, dude. So, we had the big trade on Thursday, the trade deadline. We got Correa. We're super pumped. If you listen to our episode on Thursday, you could hear the excitement. Obviously, I mean, not just from us, but just around whoever covers the team and fans and all that stuff, right? So, we were ready for Friday. Friday actually took like forever as far as the game time for it to come. Like it really did, at least for me. And to see Carlos come out with the the orange jersey with the number 1, super pumped, ready to go. I mean, look, I think he had some really good swings on Friday. I mean, he hit a couple hard hit balls. I mean, they were right to these guys, right? But I mean, that one, the dead center was 419 feet, a foot out. I mean, he was putting the bat on the ball. Yeah. So super pumped for him, seeing him back. It was just weird to see him back on the field on our side. So, I don't see who was on Friday. Who pitched Friday? I got
Alexander.
Hunter Brown.
Brown pitched Friday? Alexander pitched Friday.
Brown went Friday, right?
That's right.
7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 6 Ks. Look, this was the Hunter Brown that we, we're seeing earlier in the season, probably his last 5-6 starts. They haven't been, that dominant, right? It's been a lot of, 4 2/3, or not a lot, but there's been 4 to 5 2/3, something like that as far as innings. But this was the 7-inning game that you saw the Diesel come back, right? That what we were expecting. And the offense couldn't bail him out. I mean, Walker goes yard, right? Walker goes yard in the second inning. He goes yard.
Yeah.
Right? No, it was second inning. And it was a bomb, right? So you're like, that to me was showing like a protected Walker. And what I mean by protected Walker was you had Correa. You had Correa and Diaz hitting in front of Walker. So you have to pick which guys you want to pitch to, right? Pick your poison. So, but yeah, man, look, Hunter Brown went well, 1 earned run, and you couldn't produce enough offense to get the win. So you waste another start by Hunter Brown. Look, we're going to dive into a little bit deeper. Guys, what's your first reaction to Friday's game? Bryles, let's go. What you got?
The one thing, yeah, I agree with you, man. The one thing that I thought about was how wasteful of a start. And we had multiple times where we could have scored runs in that game, and they just couldn't scratch anything across the board. I do kind of feel like the extra innings, they looked like they were mismanaged a little bit. But, it's like if you've already got a runner on second starting, I mean, you've got to get that run across the board. You absolutely 100% have to. You cannot leave it, especially when you're the visiting team. You cannot leave it to the home team who's going to get the last at bat to just go over there and then bunt and then, hit a routine fly ball into the outfield. So it's extra innings have got to be managed better by Espada. I fully am on board on that. But other than that, yeah, it's with the excitement that we had with all these guys coming up, that we got in the trade deadline with Correa, just like you said, coming out there in orange, sporting the number 1. Super excited for that. We were excited for, Jesus Sanchez. We got another lefty in the lineup. He played left field on Friday. And then just to kind of have that giant letdown, that was a bummer. And it was a fun game to watch. Don't get me wrong. It was close the entire time, but we literally should have gotten at least 2 or 3 runs before it even got to that 10th inning. So that's my initial reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the big takeaways was I wanted to see how Pena was gonna, how he was gonna play. I mean, he had 3 hits, fantastic. Jesus Sanchez I think he had another couple hits. And then Correa. I mean, like it felt like every Correa at bat was almost like a playoff bases loaded 2 outs at bat for some reason. He smoked the ball. He just hit him to where the outfielders were. Again, we were talking about going into the break and coming out of the All-Star break about how Hunter Brown has been a little shaky here and there. I mean, but you got the Hunter Brown that you've got about 96% of the season. The Bulldog, he went out there, pitched fantastic. It was unfortunate we couldn't back up. But it's hard to do that when you're 0 for 6 runners in score position, and that's gonna be the underlining stat for the rest of the series.
Yeah, so Pena ended up going 3 for 5. I mean, he was 3 for 3 right out of the gate.
Yeah,
like he never left for an injury. I mean, 3 for 5. You talked about Jesus Sanchez. He went 2 for 4. Correa over 4, but it was hard hit balls. I mean, right to him. Let's see. Cam Smith. Look, Cam Smith is he is struggling. Like he is struggling right now. He is he was 0 for 3 on Friday, 0 for 5 on Saturday, and he did not play today. Right. So he's so he's on a little struggle bus, but it's good to see Pena, come back, come out of the gate. I mean, he looked like he never left. And then you had the extra innings where he got pulled and Urias, came in. They called it a hamstring cramp. They ended up giving him the day off on Saturday. He did play today. So a little bit of concern, I know, at least for me, whenever he got taken out on Friday. But Browse, I agree. Look, you're the visiting team. You're in extras. You have to score. You have to score in the 10th. You have to score on top of the 10th. You have to, because like you just said, man, if you don't, then all the home team has to do is bunt them over, sacrifice fly, whatever it is, right? Score them is over. Like you have to put the pressure on the home team instantly in that bottom half of the 10th inning. They didn't do it here. I mean, Hader, look, props to Espada. Hader did not run out there for 2 innings.
Thank God.
I mean, baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps. Bennett Sousa ran out there for you, and he got the L. He got the L on Saturday. So, look, Brian Abreu came in. Brian Abreu's been disgusting this season. I mean, he's had a few, a couple spotty little, outings where he's giving up some runs. He does like to get your blood pressure up a little bit, right? But all in all, like he was nails. He was nails. I mean, you had Hunter Brown, Abreu, Hader. They all did what their job was supposed to do. This offense is really, really struggling. 0 for 6, runners from scoring position, 7 left on base. Just, man, look, the offense is, like I said, it's just terrible right now. So that was Friday. Let's go into Saturday. Saturday wasn't much better. Chris, what do you got for Saturday, man? What's your thoughts on Saturday's game?
I mean, like, again, I mean, we were all super excited because not only did you have Sanchez as part of coming over in the trade, you brought back Correa. You know, you had Jeremy Pena coming back too. Now Pena didn't play, which means Saturday was the first time. And how long was it that you had Altuve at second and Correa at shortstop? I mean, so that was kind of
19?
cool. Yeah. The final game of the final World Series game of 2019. So that was cool. But it's like, holy moly, man. I mean, again, Saturday, 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And it's just like, man, I would think that you're plugging in these new players, these 3 additional players, Correa, Sanchez, Pena. You would think for the most part, it would kind of take some of the pressure off some of the other hitters like Caratini. Diaz had a pretty good series. I mean, I know we've been kind of crapping on him, but he's had a good series. I was hoping that would take a lot of the stress and pressure off of Cam Smith. Not so much, but I mean, like again, it's like, I mean, you struggle to score runs. I mean, you made, I mean, you had a whole series where you did not have to face Garrett Crochet, and you made all 3 pitchers look like they were Garrett Crochet. I mean, that's essentially what happened. I mean, so
you scored 5 runs in this series.
Yeah,
5.
I mean, and
whole series.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, unless your pitching is immaculate, you're not going to win a series only scoring 5. I mean, I think we had a series like a month ago where we did that, where we scored like 6 runs the entire series and won the series or swept them. But it was just, again, it's frustrating with the offense. I mean, it's like, I'm not trying to like get too hot as far as like, oh, this offense is crap, blah, 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 because I figured this offense is going to need time to gel. And hopefully they need to gel pretty quick because Seattle is right behind you. Like, they're taking advantage of all of these slip-ups of your ineffective offense. I think they won again today. So
they're 2.5
they're
back.
2 back. They're 2.5 back. So not too long ago, they were 5 or 6. Now they're 2.5. So you've got to get this offense. This offense has to gel before it's too late.
Yep.
What do you think, Brawls?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That was one of the things I looked at because I was like, oh, man, because I was focusing on the games. The game, by the way, this morning was at like 10:35, so I didn't really have a whole lot of pre-game time where I did anything. But afterwards, I was looking.
I wonder why it was so early.
It was like the East Coast day.
It was on
I don't know
Roku.
what it was, but anyway, thanks. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking at the MLB app and looking at the standings. And then in the standings, when I noticed that we were 2.5 back, or actually at that point we were 3 back before the Seattle game started. And honestly, the way they played these 3 games, I feel like we're lucky to be 2.5 games up right now. With the way that Seattle's playing, with the high that they're on, and everything that's been happening. Now, I will say that, just like Chris said, we've got to gel as an offense, and these guys have got to get used to each other. I understand that. It's the very first series after the trade deadline. Pena coming back. We've got more people coming back off the IL this coming week, so it's a.
He gone.
Oh man. Man.
Well, yeah, look. Colton Gordon went on Saturday. Colton Gordon, that was just not a good game. 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned, 6 Ks, gave up 3 bombs. Right. That was his line for Saturday. I don't know if you'll see Colton Gordon again with the pitchers coming back. What do you think, man? Because
I don't know. I mean,
I kind of put that out there on Saturday on X. Like, this might be his last one. I mean, I know we talked about it in the past where he's not really giving you a, reason for him not to make the. He looks so drunk on that frozen screen.
Yeah.
He's not really giving you a reason to, like, not have him on the rotation. But this outing, this was just not a good one, man. And like I said, with all the guys coming back, there's a possibility that could be his last one.
No, I agree with you. He did not look good at all. I mean, and again, I mean, like this guy is not going to be an ace. He's essentially a number 5 guy in the rotation. Um, and it just really depends on who all comes back. I mean, because like the question is, who's more reliable? Is that going to be, um, Colton Gordon or is it going to be Costanza? So we'll see if we can get Browse back again. So again, who's more reliable, Colton Gordon or Costanza? I mean, so if we get at least one guy, let's say we get Arrighetti back, then I would say the guy who's got the inside track is probably Colton Gordon. So they'll probably send Alexander down. But if we happen to get, like I said, I don't know, I haven't heard anything. But if we end up getting Arrighetti and Javier back, then I would say they're both going to be going back to Sugarland. I can tell you this: we saw Garcia do his rehab start on Friday night, and I think he's probably going to need at least one more rehab start. So, Browse, go ahead, join the conversation. PK was asking, who do you think? Do you think this is Colton Gordon's last start on the Astros now that we have some pitching coming back?
My initial reaction is going to be no. I think Gordon is going to end up being that one guy that's either going to be taking Gusto's spot as the long reliever in the bullpen, or he's going to be the guy making spot starts throughout. Because, I mean, there's still some kind of just underlying, I'm not going to call them injuries, but things have been popping up. Like there's been a couple, like LMJ's blister. You know what I mean? Some stupid stuff like that's going to happen. So I don't think it's going to be his last game. And I caught what you were saying about between Alexander and who were you talking about?
Alexander and Gordon, depending on who we get back.
I think Costanza is going to be going down if that's the case. So, I think they'll keep Gordon up probably longer than him. He'll be the last one to get sent down. And we don't. Also, with these guys coming back off the IL, we don't know what we're getting, so we'll see. And like you and I saw on Friday with Garcia, he's not ready yet. He's going to need at least one more tune-up, if not two, just depending on how he's pitching. But
what was that? Oh, he froze again.
All right, let's get into Sunday because we're halfway through this thing, and this is not going very well.
We are off the rails.
Yeah, this is just really terrible. Okay, Sunday, 6-1 was the final. Look, I'm gonna wrap this up for you. We didn't hit. Okay, we didn't hit. We had one inning. It was the fourth inning. I think is when like the wheels fell off for Framber. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was pumped to watch this game during my daughter's volleyball game or in between her games until I realized that it was on Roku, and so I couldn't watch it. So it was game casted, kind of, in between. So all I know is that when I turned it on, the game cast, it was 1-0 Houston. And then the next time it was 6-1 in the bottom of the fourth. So it sounds like Framber had some issues because he made a comment after the game.
Oh boy.
Through his interpreter about there were pitches or there were plays that were made that he didn't expect the Red Sox to be able to execute them. So kind of in a roundabout way, the way I took it was that they knew it was coming. Now, we can back up to Saturday. Was that old Hector
Is that the nearest?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I really don't think that it's really worth getting into because at the end of the day, if anything was going on, we're not going to get any, we're not going to get the benefit of it.
Like we're not the ones. We're not the ones to be crying about cheating.
Yeah.
Or sign stealing.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, even if there was some shenanigans or not, you scored one run, right? Yeah. I mean, so it didn't matter unless you had a 9-inning complete game shutout. You were going to take the L on this game regardless, even if you only gave up 2 runs. I mean, so the thing is, and going back to this game, I remember looking at, I think it was like a 10:45. I'm like,
it was
let me go see what time the Astros. Yeah, I was like, hey, let me go see what time the Astros game was on. They were already in the second inning. I was like, oh. And then I'm looking on Fubo, and I'm like, oh, that's right, it's on Roku. So great. So
Stupid
7 people
Roku.
can watch it. So
That's right.
yeah. I mean, all in all,
Somebody on X said this is a classic, like Northern Illinois versus Central Ohio Saturday first football game of the day.
Yeah.
Like 10:30 in the morning. Like, what? What are we doing?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to wrap this up, I mean, I didn't see the implosion. I mean, everything I read is that he had a bad inning, and that kind of, But at the end of the day, I mean, the offense was trash, man. Like you're not going to win a series scoring 5 runs. You're not going to win a series when you hit 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position. It's like with these guys coming back, we've kind of fell into that little rut that we were in the beginning of the season, where we can't hit with runners in scoring position. So they have got to get that squared away again, because Seattle is right up your ass, right behind you at 2.5 games out.
And Texas is 4.5. Like they're not.
Yeah,
far.
Texas ain't far behind either.
They're not far. And so, like, I was thinking about this earlier this evening, before we got on, and it's like, obviously, the season is full of ups and downs, right? We started the season off kind of, shitty, or not exceeding or not meeting the expectations that we expected from the beginning of the season. Then we go on that 13 series, winning streak, right? Or not winning streak, but just not losing 13 series in a row. We have that. This dog is wild. Okay. And now we're in this, we can't buy a run. We're getting swept by the A's. I mean, they're blowing the doors off Daikin. You're beating Washington 2-1, but you go to Fenway and you get swept. And it's not even close swept, right?
Yeah.
So, we're back down to a valley. So what I'm hoping, man, is that we start coming back up. We get that high again. I just hope that it's not too late to where, like we wasted a lot, or spent a lot of energy. We talked about last year too, a lot of energy trying to maintain the lead that we had with the players that we had, right? Trying to hold on, right? And so you're thinking with all these players going back to AAA, and you're getting, Pena back, and now with Correa and Jesus Sanchez, and pitchers are coming back, like it's going to immediately just gel and start taking off, right? It just doesn't happen. We're seeing that. So look, we're going into Miami. They're 30-14 in their last 44 games.
And they just swept the Yankees.
And they just swept the Yankees. And I'm not saying like
that's history.
First time ever. Yeah. So the best thing about that series was the fact that the Yankees went out and overhauled their bullpen at the trade deadline.
Oh yeah.
And these guys on their first night, Bednar and Bird, Duvall. But Bird also, all three of them choked it up. So then you have Jazz Chisholm, like lollygag. There's a whole thing. I mean, the Yankees are a mess, but we have them next. So 30-14 in the last 44 for the Marlins. They're playing some good baseball, man. They're young. They got a lot of talent. So that's where we go. We start tomorrow, 3-game series. We only have one pitcher for you on the rotation as of right now.
Yeah.
So Chris, throw that thing up there.
All right, yeah. So here's our series previews for the Astros and the Marlins. I made this before the Marlins game was done. So they're 55-55. Astros are 62-50. And all we have for you as far as named pitchers is Alexander going Monday against Sandy Alcantara. And then you have TBD versus Paul Quantrill. It's 4-8, 4.79 ERA. And then Wednesday, we have another mythical TBD against Jason Junk, who's 5-2 with a 3.86 ERA. I mean, so you look at these guys, right? I mean, and the first guy that pops off to you is Sandy Alcantara. Now, he's pitched pretty well, right? Quantrill's kind of like at this point in his career, he's a journeyman. Jason Junk, he's been DFA'd a handful of times.
I have him on my fantasy team. He's decent.
Yeah, I mean, but this is a series that you can start to right the ship, because, golly, we need to go into New York, and we need to not lose or get swept in New York. That cannot happen.
No, yeah.
So I think we got Bryles back. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but we're gonna try this one more time.
So this is Sandy Alcantara's last 5 at home. his last 5 at home. So he's 2-1, a 4.2 ERA, 19 Ks over 5. His last 5 games at home, and in those games he's gone 5 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings. So he pitches good at home. And you got Jason Alexander. I'm not too. I'll just take the L tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah, I don't like the Alexander versus Alcantara. Now I need Alcantara to be the Alcantara with the 9 ERA tomorrow. I mean, it's just tough because I don't know. I mean, could it be Arrighetti on Tuesday? Could it be Javier on Wednesday? I mean, so you could see Arrighetti and Javier. However, I mean, like, again, this isn't MLB The Show where you get these guys back, plug them into your rotation, and they're the 92 overall that they are or whatever. I mean, these guys have got to make their way back. You know, Javier's going to be on a very strict pitch count if he's getting reactivated.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to pick based off of just blind picking, I don't want to, but you know what? If this is what it takes to reverse it, I'll go 1-2 Miami.
Ew, that was ugly. It's easy though. It's easy to do that, right? Because just solely on how the offense is.
Yes.
Like just solely on how the offense cannot hit. On Saturday, no, what day was that? Friday? What? Saturday. You had 14 hits off of, not they weren't all off of Walker Buehler, but you were hitting Buehler every inning. Every inning.
Yeah.
And you could do nothing. You could do like nothing.
You couldn't hit when you needed to hit.
Right. Yeah. So I'll be the homer. I'll take a 2-1. I'll go 2-1. I think Arrighetti comes back on Tuesday. I think at least that's what I said. Like what I saw on X was that he will be back for the Miami series, right? Or planning to be back for Miami. So I'll go Arrighetti, coming back, getting a win, and then we're just going to pull one out of our ass. So I'm going to go 2-1. Chris, that gives you an opportunity to catch up on a little ground.
Yes.
So,
all right, what you got, Ross?
Yeah.
I see you blinking. That's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. Before I freeze up again, I'm going to go 2-1. And the reason I'm going 2-1, though, is because I think Miami's got a little bit of a stripped down team after the trade deadline. They brought up some of their kids from AAA as well. So, but they're not playing where they thought they were going to be at this point, I would imagine. Now, their pitching has been a little bit better. But, yeah, Jesus Sanchez going home. He gets to play in the park he's played in all season. I'm going 2-1 Astros. I think we're going to regroup after this Boston series, and I think they will probably stumble on one of them, whether it's the Alcantara game or not. I do think they'll probably stumble on one. But other than that, you're going to see, I think, some pretty big scores coming out now. They're going to try to absolutely make up for all the mistakes they made. So.
I mean, you got to think, man.
So.
Like you have to think that's you got to think that's the plan. I mean, the plan is every week, right, or every series is go in there and put up runs. I mean, we get it, but coming off of what you've been doing and the embarrassment that what happened in Boston, I mean, it just wasn't good, man. Like, it just wasn't good. So yeah, 2-1 me, 2-1 Bryles, 1-2 for Chris. He might pick up a game on me. We'll see how that goes. But look, you got
here are.
Yeah, give us the standings.
I was just going to, give it to us. Not good. Not good at all.
I'm above 500, man. That's good.
Barely.
Well, you know what? It's still above.
And I am the Chicago White Sox of the Juice Box Heroes.
Let's go ahead and start.
But you've also had a lot of you've had several homer picks. You went sweep when you probably shouldn't have gone sweep.
Fair enough.
It's all good. You got to have that guy. You got to have the homer. What used to be Chris. It used to be
That's
Chris.
not true.
That's very much true. So we got 3 this week. 3 starting tomorrow. We got to talk about with Miami, and then you're off on Thursday, and then you fly back to the Northeast, and you go to New York for 3. So that's going to be look. We know how it goes with New York. I'm ready for that. Well, first, you got to get through Miami. They're playing really good ball. I would say that they are exceeding expectations at the current moment, being 500. right? So you're playing them
Yeah.
at home. They had a huge record. All I kept seeing on X was the huge, record for the amount of people that came out for the 3-game series down in Miami. I'm like, well,
And
you also
94%
had
of them are Yankees fans.
You also had the Yankees in town, and most of the people down there are probably from New York, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, but that's it, man. Look, that was a show. Look, I wish we had better stuff to talk about coming off this series, but we've seen it far too often this season where you can't score runs. You've got great pitching, and when you have that, it's not really a recipe for winning. So let's see if we can turn this thing around in Miami. We need some runs. We need some wins, man. We got to protect that lead. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you guys follow us on all of our social platforms. All of our handles will be on the screen here in a few minutes. I hope you have a great start to your week. We'll be back on Thursday, normal time, 7:30. Right, everybody? As for right now, 7:30.
Should be 7:30.
Sounds good. I like it. Well, until then, you listen to the Juicebox Heroes podcast. Bryles, I think, is still with us. If he blinks, he's still with us. But if not, I'm PK. That's Chris. That's Bryles. We'll talk to y'all on Thursday. Hook 'em.
Boy, I can say this.
Bryles is on here.
Yeah, this episode went about as good as Astros series.
Yeah.